Welcome everybody. We back once again, living with Sentinels. This is probably like my third or fourth one, but I'm super excited about this one because now we got everybody together. On top, I got my man Aaron representing Akron, Ohio, home of LeBron James. I got my man Mike representing represent Arkansas by way of Oakland, California. And you got my man Byrd on the bottom right here representing Vegas. Whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So
yes, sir.
Yeah. So go ahead, Byrd, and then work your way up, and just tell them about your dogs, and just in case people miss you when you done your interview first time.
Right.
2 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, I got my first Sentinel. She's, her name is Rebel Girl. She's 4 years old on October 14th. She was 4 years old. So she weighs 80 pounds. She gained a pound from our last interview, so she weighs 80 pounds. And then I got Cairo. He's 2.5 years old. He was born on 4/20, 23, and he weighs 90 pounds exactly. So yeah, I took him to the vet to get an official weight because I was just weighing him by standing on the scale, and it wasn't really that accurate. And I'm having trouble finding his new weight or his real weight because he seems to gain weight when I feed him more, but I don't want to overfeed him and overdo it at the same time. So I'm kind of still finding what his true weight is. But yeah, Rebel's locked in at 80 pounds, and yeah, that's basically my two dogs.
So for the people that don't know, tell them Rebel's parents and Cairo's parents.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Rebel's parents are Cowboy and Machete. Um, Cowboy is Cowboy Machete, like Jaguar said, is Fury's parents as well. So she was a littermate sibling to Fury, and Cairo is Halo and Justice. So that's kind of like my two favorite dogs. So I had to get a puppy out of them. But yeah, I think Rebel has some Preacher Man in her blood and a little bit more Mastiff, I think, than Cairo does. Just a little bit.
Cairo is scratching Halo.
Okay. See, I knew you'd know more than I would about my own dog, but I love it.
To do the pet breakdown for you. I got so busy, and I think Cairo was born on 4/20, right?
Right. Yeah, that's kind of why his middle name is Kush. So his name is Cairo Kush, And then Rebel was named after the UNLV running Rebels. They got a dance squad called the Rebel Girls, and they always win like the championships or whatever. So yeah, named her Rebel Girl.
Okay, we gonna ask about their personalities and how they are with strangers, but Mike, go ahead and talk about your two Sentinels, Mike.
Well, I got the first one I got was a female. That's Dixie. She's out of Fury and Voodoo. And the second one I got's Vader. He's out of Slam and Luna. Dixie's 18 months and Vader's 7.5 months.
Okay.
Wow, Vader's on 7.5 months. Wow.
Vader, big.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Big, bro. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Make sure y'all smash the thumbs up. So Aaron, on the top, shout out to Akron. Tell us about your two Sentinels.
Okay, I'm the owner of Ninja and Blessing. So Ninja is out of Slam and Banshee, and he on the higher end of the APBT, the game dog side. So he 90% game dog, and then Blessing is out of Aries and Danger, coming out of Deep South Sentinels, and she out of Aries and Danger, so she's 62% Mastiff, so she on the higher end of Mastiff. Ninja, last time I weighed him, I was on the scale, not accurate or nothing. He was coming in at like 60 pounds. I was getting him ready for winter, so yeah, he was on the higher end, but he's self-conditioning, so like he will leave the bowl. So I don't. Yeah, he'd eat so much. He'd eat till he full and he done with that. But Blessing, she's a land cow. She's eating everything, and I think she's about 80 pounds now for real. So she's a big girl.
Danger be putting in that work. All of his kids, like almost look like twins too.
Man,
They look
crazy
just like
consistency,
twins.
consistency.
So any of y'all can start. What made y'all get into Sentinels? Because we was talking before we got on, man. Aaron was like, Sentinels is like an underground breed, which to be honest with you, I kind of like that. It's kind of like underground, you know what I'm saying? That it's So how did y'all get into it? Like,
I'll tell you, me personally, I don't know who will go first or whatever. But
whoever,
I'll
yeah.
tell you, me personally, I was looking for a serious dog. Cause to be honest, I got like a history, like a criminal history. So with that said, like to keep it all the way real, like people really don't have a reason to hate you, and like you got to think it's people literally look this up and they hate that we up here being cool, stuff like that. So I was getting kind of like threats and stuff like that, and I didn't want to go. Like the thing, like I don't want to go back. So I thought it would be better for me just to get a dog. I had a Corso at the time, but he wasn't a ninja. Like, yeah, they're serious dogs, and I feel like Ninja did the job. He, the people that started to see my content or knew that I had Ninja, they stayed away. And to be honest, like where I'm at, I'm up for RVO, which is 10 years on top of whatever they give you, mandatory. So with that said, if there's an incident and I keep controlling my dogs, I'm not looking for trouble, but at the same time, I would rather Ninja do 10 years in quarantine, come out and get a steak, compared to me doing 10 years mandatory in a cage. So I'd rather have him. And like I said, Ninja get his job. He gets the job done. That's my dude, man. Yeah, that's my dude.
Hey, Mike, how did you learn about the Sentinels, Mike?
I did a lot of research online, man. I had an XL bully and I had a pocket bully. I'm from California. I'm from the Bay Area, Oakland, California, right? So those were really popular at that time. Last 4 years, I moved out here to Arkansas and whatnot. My pocket bully, my XL bully, they were getting old. They're like 12 years old. They both passed away. So I was just looking into getting something that was just more than my XL bully. I mean, he was with it, bro. He was 100 pounds. I mean, you seen pictures of him. He looked really good and he was active, and I did a lot with that dog, but I just wanted something even more, so I started researching, man. And I know I didn't want I love the game dogs. I didn't want a 30-pound game dog. I wanted something that was bigger, that acted like that. And I stumbled upon the band dogs and American Sentinel and Deep South Sentinel. Then I just started following them. I followed them like 6-7 years back in Cali. I was already watching those videos. I was already learning. I was already checking it out, showing the wifey, like, man, my dogs are getting old. My next dog, this is what I want to get right here, blah, 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 shit like that. You know what I mean? And so we moved out here. Dogs started getting old, and that's when I pulled the trigger and got one, man. Grateful that I got one. They do so much more than like your regular like XL bullies. You know what I mean? They're just I think that if this, like, it's underground, but if people catch on to it, this is the kind of dog they're really looking for. They're getting these XL bullies and they look good, they're big, they're fast, but this is what they're really looking for. They're more faster, they're more stronger, they're more aggressive, they're more protection. It's more of a dog, you know what I mean? And that's what I want, like super athlete, you know what I mean?
We'll see if they really want that, because sometimes like some dogs, some of their aggression towards people be too much.
Well, yeah, I think is like I think a lot of people out there, they fantasize. They want a tough dog.
Yeah.
They got this fantasy, they want a tough dog. You know what I mean? Well, you know, this is where you get them. You know what I mean? This is it. This is the honey hole right here. You know.
Yeah.
What about you, Bird? Because I remember you before. I think you had a pit bull. I kind of remember slightly. How did you, and how did y'all also too, once Bird go, how did y'all decide which breeding to go with? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, it'd be so many breedings, it's kind of hard to even choose to know which one to go with. How did you say, you know what, I'm gonna go with or how did
The
you
Rebel Girl.
go with the Fury one? Yeah, the first one.
Yeah. Well, I was, at this time I was deep into, the game dog, not seeing, but watching a lot of videos on YouTube about, real pit bulls and real, game bred pit bulls and just a lot of the history. And I was realizing, a lot of the pit bulls are watered down. And so I was just really getting into that. And out of nowhere, one of Lee's videos popped up on my rotation, but they weren't pit bulls, but it was basically like, can any other dog breed be game? And it was, showed Lee's dogs jumping around on the chain, acting just like pit bulls, and I think it was like a video of Frankie Bump, and then it showed some of his Sentinels, and I was like, wow, I was pretty hooked. And then I started watching more and realized, oh, this is the best of both worlds right here. This is, these are game dogs on steroids, and they're human. They'll protect you in your house too. So yeah, I was just kind of stumbling upon that, and literally like a month later, my little bully mix got attacked on a walk, and I was like, man, and I was like, man, I can't get a game bred pit bull. They'll just go after him. He's already he's a submissive dog, so they're not gonna, I don't want dog on dog aggression to be just so automatic. So yeah, I reached out to Lee. And Lee, man, I just appreciate him so much because he gave me the recommendation of Rebel Girl. I told him about, everything that happened with my dog Major, and he was like, I definitely recommend you getting a female because a male, there is a possibility he could become dog aggressive. So I was like, all right, no problem, So he sent me the female, and man, she was just, everything. I even sent you some pictures, Jalika, her as a little puppy watching people across the street, just staring at people, just so alert and just aware of everything that's going on. As a little puppy, I was just like, man, this is crazy. I've never experienced something like this, but I loved it at the same time, And so once he recommended that, and I got Rebel Girl, and then of course I wanted another one, but this time I was like, man, there's all these awesome breedings going on. I'm going to try to pick out one that I like, and then I got a little specific because I wanted a brindle. And so then, with all the breedings going on, he just seemed to have, something good at all times. And I was going to get a dog from him that was little on the smaller side. I think its name was Anvil, but that didn't work out. And not only that, but he was like 8 months old, and I wasn't 100% sure on how Rebel was going to react to him coming. So I was already kind of preparing for that, and I was like, man, I hope this all works out. I'm gonna have to be on, I'm gonna have to really be on point with this one. And then he called me and said, oh, it's not gonna work out or whatever with the transportation. So I said, all right, well, I still want a dog. I really like the Halo and Scratch, dogs. And he was like, man, they just had a breeding 2 weeks ago, and it was on 420. And I was like, what? So he was like, oh, the first pick is gone, but you can have your choice of the second, third, or whatever. I said, oh, it doesn't even matter. I just want that brindle one right there because, like I said in the first video, I'm just a believer in spending time, quality time, and building the bond and building the trust. And I mean, you'll turn, a 2 or 3 pick into the number one dog. I don't even know why they would even think, Cairo's amazing. Rebel's amazing. To me, they're the best. I got the best out of the litter. But anyways, it doesn't even really matter. It's just, kind of something I believe in. But yeah, Cairo was more like a choice where I was like, let me see which breeding I want and which one I want to go with.
Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how high are your dog's dog aggression on a scale of 1 to 10 towards strange dogs?
10. There's no hope. I carry a broken stick, and I'm always worried that any loose dog is going to pay the price. Some of them have, it's just, it's unfortunate. And I mean, it's just, it's just hard it's hard to describe, but unless it's I guess maybe a cane corso or a pressa, but anything else, it's just they're just not built like that. Just my dogs move forward. There is no retreat. They're never in a It's just you can tell that the other dogs not it might bark and growl, but it's not made for battle like the Sentinels are. So I'm always trying to look out for them, but at the same time I'm appreciative because when I have my other little dog with me that's blind, he's protected, and no matter what, just like I am. So, but yeah, they're also human aggressive too. Like nobody knew was coming around or coming in, and that's my brother's the only person that doesn't live with me that can be around the dogs and has access to the dogs where I don't have to worry. Anybody else would be like, no, I'm going to monitor this. Matter of fact, I'm just going to muzzle my dogs up right now. If it was like a family friend or something. But yeah, they're not playing.
So there you gotta go. Some dogs, like I say, you want a sentinel. I'm glad they answered for you. Some of these dogs is they not gonna play with no outside strangers. Not all of them is like that. Some of them might be more tolerant, but if another dog gets stupid, then but some is just heavily.
Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead and speak on Rebel Girl's niece Dixie, because they remind me so much of alike. And how's Vader developing, and also, as y'all get into the questions, talk about how y'all was able to transition from having one dog to two dogs.
You want me to talk right now?
Yeah, go ahead, Mike. And then you, Aaron.
Dixie, she's a firecracker, bud. She's a firecracker. Like she's if you try to run the vacuum, if you try to run a leaf blower, she'll chase a car down the street. She'll go after the leaf blower, the lawnmower. Like if I run a chainsaw, I got to put her up because I'm afraid she'll try to jump the chainsaw. You know what I mean? She's a firecracker. And Vader's not as much. I got to put him up with the chainsaw because he likes to go after sticks. So then I start cutting wood. He wants to get after that wood. But I mean, as far as like dog aggression, we've never ran into any dogs. I live in the country out here, so we haven't run into any dogs. As far as human aggression, I guess they probably would be, but I don't. They kind of play off of me, and I got a lot of people coming and going at my house. I got 2 teenage sons, and they got girlfriends, and they have lots of friends, and they play sports, and sometimes we'll have half a football team here or whatnot, and my dogs are cool with everybody, Vader, like maybe, I don't know, when he started a couple months ago, he's probably like human. Maybe he would probably be human aggression, like in someone else's hands, like his hair started standing up and he gets like that, but he kind of stopped kind of doing that just because I don't pump that up because there's so many people that come around, and, I mean, Dixie, I could fire her up. I mean, I could probably get her to go after something if I wanted to, for sure. But I don't really play on that. They're more like around here, just like home protection, family, guardian dogs. I mean, if a leaf falls out of the tree, they both jump up and start barking and let me know something's there. If there's something walking around, they'll get after a squirrel like that. Like they love hunting, you know what I mean?
So how are they towards animals?
Like, so I got 4 cats that live in my house, right?
Yeah.
When we got Dixie, we went to the vet. We walked into the vet and there was a cat that was there that someone dropped off. So we ended up going home with a cat the first time we took Dixie to the vet, right? And then we got another cat. I'm not even a cat person, but but then my wife, she kind of likes them. So then we got a cat for that cat to be friends with, right? So then Dixie kind of just grew up with these cats, so then she doesn't mess with them, you know what I mean? And then one day I went out to go to work, and on my boat there was 2 little kittens, 2 5-day-old kittens that their eyes weren't even opened up yet. So my wife took them in and bottle fed them, syringe fed them, and we raised them up. So my dogs, actually, we got 4 cats that live around inside our house too that they get along with, but they could go from being friendly with 4 cats in my house to, we go through the woods and they see a squirrel, bro. Like she's bananas. You've seen videos where like she'll run up a tree and she'll try to take the branches off the tree just because she wants to get them so bad. She tries to tear the tree down to get to them. You know what I mean? So, that's kind of what I got going on here. They're kind of, my dogs are cool, and I just kind of, my wife will take him in the car. Say she goes to pick up my son from football practice or something. If someone comes up to the car or walks by the car, they go crazy in the back seat. But it's funny because she'll be with me on FaceTime and she'll have two Sentinels in the back seat just at the window. And
they got their guardian instincts. Their guardian instincts,
big time.
Yeah.
Like, hey, bud,
like you said, you got the guardian instincts here. So depending on how you push it, you can increase, you can balance it out. So that's good that you know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's like, for sure, bud. And I mean, like, we're on YouTube right now, so I'm gonna try to make it kind of, you know what I mean? Like yada 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 too. But I mean, I definitely gotta. They're dogs that I have to watch. You know what I mean? For sure. Like I can't, like I told you earlier, I can't just leave them alone all day. I gotta cage them up because they could get after each other. I mean, like, I got to cage them up. I mean, say the UPS man or something. I mean, she's the kind of, she'd go through the window. You know what I mean? Like, you got to kind of, like, she's wild. You know what I mean? But you just got to kind of, work with that, Yeah.
Mr. Akron, tell us about your transition and just get into to Ninja the Quiet. And while you're doing that, I'm going to try to bring up the video so people can see a Ninja. But go ahead and talk about that and the transition lessons of how you was able to do that.
So I'll tell you, like, I didn't choose a breeding or nothing like that. I get along with dogs always in life. Always got along better with dogs than people. Actually, dogs help me get along with people. I just feel comfortable, like, especially if my dog around. Yeah, we could be friends all day. But with that said, I end up luckily, like, and we talked about this. This was like a gift from God. End up getting him from Jalen. Shout out to Jalen, man. Dude doing some good work. I was trying to tell you earlier, he just put out some nice content with some puppies, literally puppies, scenes with puppies. He definitely put a hell of a foundation on Ninja again. Jalen, that man, that's my dude, man. But yeah, I ended up getting Ninja from Jalen, and how I ended up getting blessing was I knew eventually. And I will say I am not a breeder. I am not a breeder. My goal is not to breed. Honestly, I feel like there's other angles. I feel like Lee's the breeder. You know what I'm saying? Lee got the eye. Lee created it. Lee the man. He's the breeder. But I think it's other angles us as American Sentinels could go so we don't become like the American bully. We don't become like the Borbal, the Cane Corso. It was a sad day. I go to the pounds. With that said, I seen a Borbal in a pound. Why is a $3,000, $5,000 dog? Matter of fact, it was 2 females with him. Why is this dog in a pound? You know what I'm saying? This is not an exotic no more. It's people throwing them away now. I feel like, yeah, let Lee do that. But my angle is I'm more so like my business, I'm learning decoy work. So I'm learning to be a decoy because they say I got good size to do decoy work. Also, I like the model. Y'all see me with Lee's, the American Sentinel jacket. A lot of people like that. I feel like Idris Elba. Yeah, but I think also kennel setups. I build dog houses, kennel setups and stuff like that. I feel like there's other angles we can go to preserve the breed and preserve this. Lee and Ryan, I think, got it covered. This is my opinion. Like I said, it's not law, but at the same time, there's other angles. I hope it don't be because in COVID, a lot of people thought they were breeder and they don't know what they was cut out for. But
so how was you? So your Sentinels get along. How do they interact with each other? Because Blessing is already bigger than him at 8 months. And for
yeah,
those,
they just be wrestling, but at the same time, as you can see, Ninja
that's
is
right there in the back.
yeah, Ninja's a very serious dog. He's very, very serious. So like they say, that mastiff takes a minute to mature, and you could tell, you could see, you could definitely see Blessing's mastiff traits. But I will say it's monkey see, monkey do. I know I just sent you a video. Blessing thinks she's Ninja. Ninja will jump over anything. I know y'all probably seen. I got like somewhat of an agility course for Ninja, where he jumps the A-frame, stuff like that. So she try when she see Ninja do it. If Ninja on top of the doghouse, she gonna get on top of the doghouse. But the thing about it is, now you gotta get down, but you scared of heights. Oh yeah, you gonna figure it out just like Ninja did now. So Ninja got up there. Ninja shows you how to get up there. Ask Ninja how to get down. So I'm definitely hard parenting. She eventually figured it out. She gets down. She get up and down now. But yeah, for the most part, they ace boon coons, man. They love each other, man.
So now we talked about this earlier. Aaron's Ninja is like a little over a year. I think he was born last July. He's slim and banshee, so technically he's almost like just a straight pit bull, but he still does man work. He's 90% pit bull. Now, your girl Blessing is 37.5% pit bull. Which one has more prey drive between your pit Blessing and Ninja? Which one has more prey
Oh
drive?
yeah, I think it's Blessing, but you know I started with Blessing, and for real, I started with Blessing. I do a lot of flirt pole with the cow hide. So I get my hide. Shout out. So I got a TikTok followers, you feel me? Shout out to all the TikTokers out there. Keep bullying that algorithm. I love y'all out there, you know. But I started Blessing with a piece of cowhide. So I think that's why she's more fixated on like furrier things and that, like I haven't really tapped in. They told me just let her be a puppy like after the first heat, start working with the man aggressive. But like I said, Ninja foundation come from Jalen. And the thing that Jalen doing with them dogs, that man's a good dog, man. With that said, yeah, that all that came, he naturally came. Like I said, when I got Ninja out the van, he was at me. And technically, like I don't see nobody, like it's to the point where like I don't, if something really happened to me, I'm technically feel like I'm a I should invest in a catch pole because I know nobody's gonna be able to handle Ninja.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm the only one he really knows. A lot of people are scared of him, and that kind of keep me on my toes too, because I know what I got at home. You know what I'm saying? I know how to keep myself together because at the end of the day, I got a responsibility at home. You know what I'm
How do
saying?
you handle it? Because he don't bark. He don't.
Uh,
So how do you?
Everybody that tell you who's seen the other side of Ninja, Ninja got to look.
Oh, he got to look. Okay.
Yeah, he got to look like when his eye, you will see it. Actually, if you look at that picture, you can see his look. When you see that look, get out of his way.
Ooh,
Go. Yeah, it's not.
that'll be. That'll
Yeah,
be.
he what
The
that.
dog that don't bark, boy.
I'm gonna tell you when we was at that park, the kid that took that, they was playing basketball. So he was fixated on the basketball. He was fixated on the kids, and I won't say kids. They was teenagers. No, I'm not into like
Okay.
getting sick of my dog on kids, but they was. It was just some older kids playing basketball. I'm like, yeah, get a picture of me in my coat, in my, you know what I'm saying? I thought it was a good picture, but when you see that look on Ninja, oh yeah, go somewhere. And it's so funny because like I have a female friend that comes by. Actually, I call her Blessing's mom because we rode down there to get Blessing together, and she been in Blessing's life the whole time. She handles Blessing too. She don't handle Ninja though. She said like that's your child. Like so he's a motherless child. But with that said, Ninja what was I saying? Yeah, he once he give you that look, oh yeah, he at you. It's over with. Yeah, it's over with.
Wait for shame.
And he has so that's what I was getting at. He tries to bark. Now he barks, he'll bark, but he has to like he sound like an old man. Like if he just alert and like he don't know what's going on. Like I know pretty sure, like he said, a leaf will blow. If a leaf blow, man, it just sound like you would think I got a 90-year-old dog back there. Like he gotta try, like he literally forces it. He don't know how to bark for real. He really
That's
don't.
interesting. That's interesting. Oh, I'm sorry. So the breed, shout out to everybody in there. Make sure y'all smash the thumbs up. I appreciate my man Aaron, Mike, and my man Byrd for coming on here because I could talk dogs all day. The breed is an American Sentinel based out of Mississippi, Lee Robinson. If you go through the videos I got, you'll hear all about it. You should also see the links on how to get to the website to see the breed. Family Guardian. So yeah, it's this American thing. So what would y'all Byrd? So what would you say is the main difference between female and male sentinel? Starting with you, Byrd, and just gonna go straight up back up the line.
Yeah, my female, she's just like my Velcro dog, man. She just goes everywhere with me. She's always watching me. She wants to be with me more than anything else. And Cairo, and I don't know if it's a male or female thing, but Cairo is just, he wants to be running the backyard. He always wants to, you know, be on patrol. You know, if I open the front door, grab the keys, like I'm gonna go somewhere, Rebels, you know, she's, oh, am I going? You know, Cairo don't even move. He's just like, you know, laying by the back door, wanting to go out back or whatever and dig holes, chew on the fence, and scare people. You know, he likes to do so. But yeah, man. And then one thing I was gonna say earlier is I've been going on a little bit of a different route on my dog walk, so I've kind of been a little bit closer to the public, and I've had a lot of people in their cars pull up and say, "Hey, what kind of dogs are those? Are they Cane Corsos or Cane Corsos?" And I always
Me
tell them,
too.
"No, you know, they're American Sentinels or whatever." But one person, he you know, he's like, "Is that a Cane Corso or whatever?" And I was like, "No, they're American Sentinels from, you know." And he was like, "Oh, from Lee Robinson." He knew, and I was like, "Yeah, from Lee." He's like, "Man, your dogs are beautiful, bro." And I was like, "Oh, thank you, I appreciate it." But no, he knew about Lee Robinson as soon as I said American Sentinels. But that's been the only one. Everybody else just assumes they're Presa Canarios or Cane Corsos, but yeah, man. But as far as that, Rebel just wants to be with me everywhere. Everywhere I go, she wants to go in the car, you know, and Cairo's more like stays at the house and he'd rather be outside, you know, even if it's hot out, I leave the back door open for him to come in. He stays out back as long as he can, you know, no matter what. So and he barks all the time. He'll just bark and hope something moves or barks back so he can go running and try to get something going. It's just like sometimes I'm like, what are you barking at? The wind? Because I'm confused. You know, he just out back every now and again he'll start barking and start listening to see if any other dog barks back or whatever. It's kind of funny. Rebels, she's a little bit more silent and controlled. Her prey drive is a little bit more controlled. She basically knows the dog is behind the fence and can't get out, and Cairo don't care. He's jumping, flipping, you know, maxing the leash out, you know, doing everything he can do to think he's gonna go over there and do something. So they're both, you know, got good prey drive, but Rebel, I don't know if she's just a little bit more smarter or if it's a female thing, but she's more controlled. But she knows what she's doing too. Yeah, she's for real. But she knows what she's doing. So.
What about you, Mike? Dixie Invader, what's the main? Because I'm asking you questions, so you know how it is. Because some people right now they wanting this sentinel, they watching this, y'all basically gonna help them make their decisions because that's a hard thing to know. You know. Besides, size, most of the males is gonna be bigger than females. We all know that.
Yeah, that's just. I think maybe females, maybe well, like my female, matured maybe a little bit more faster than Vader is.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that to me. Like he's where she was at. You know, he's a couple months behind. Seems like a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm just letting them grow up, though. You know what I mean? Every situation is different. Everyone's house is different. You know, around here, I mean, I spend a lot of. I'm able to spend a lot of time with them. As soon as I get home from work, I mean, they don't leave my side until I go to work in the morning. You know what I mean? Like I come home and we work out every day. I come home and I fire up my side by side, and we go for our walk, our jog, our run, swim. You know, all the stuff you see me do: flirt pole, spring pole. I got a new one where I seen Aaron made the A-frame, right? So I was thinking, damn, I need to do that, because I'll see somebody else do something. I'll be like, man, I need to do that. That's pretty cool. So shout out to Aaron right there. But I seen you with that A-frame, and I was thinking,
Man, a lot of people be picking that up, man. That's great work for that dog. My dude's saying. So I
Hold
sorry
on,
to
let,
cut
let,
you off.
let me finish, A-Rod.
Okay, okay.
oh yeah. So I seen that, man, and I got a couple of round bells out here, like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, it's hey round bells, right? So I got a couple of those. So instead of the A-frame, I got them where they go up a round bell and stand on the top. You know what I mean? Then back down and then back up that round bell, bud. They dig their claws into it and get to the top. It's kind of like your A-frame deal. I just kind of put my own little spin on it. So that's a new one that I'm doing. But back to, I just spent a lot of time with them, bud. You know what I mean? And these dogs, my dogs, they want to just be around me. They just want to please me. They just want to. If I walk to my laundry room, I got two dogs walking with me. They'll walk into the laundry room. They'll walk out of the laundry room. I walk to the bathroom. They'll walk out of the bathroom. I walk to the kitchen. They just go everywhere I go, brother. All they want to do is please me. They're always looking at me, especially Vader. He really looks at me like what you want me to do now, boss? Like they just want to please you. You know what I mean? Um, so they sleep in my bed. You know, Dixie, she used to be when she by herself. Now I got two dogs. They sleep in my bed. I have to give them a bath every week, change my sheets every week. They sleep on top of my bed, not in my bed with me, but they mostly try to. Vader will kind of lay with me. He likes to put his head back, and he's a snuggler. I don't know, maybe like my boy dog's more affectionate than Dixie. Dixie will she'll kind of fade towards the end and not be so lovey. And he's more like lay on his back, put his head. He'll want to put his head right next to your face and he just wants you to rub his belly. You know, he's a little bit more affectionate like that. So I got that going. Yeah, I don't know. They're great, bud. You know, they just want to be with you and please you, man. You know, I'm grateful that I get to spend a lot of time with them and give them what they want too. You know what I mean? And it's kind of that everyone's got different times in their life. You know what I mean? I'm an older dude, like I've told you before, and I got a son that's 20. I got a son that's 15. They got lots of friends and girlfriends and all that. So then now it's kind of like me and my wife kind of were like lonely, you know, compared to having littler kids.
Okay. The nesting.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like my kids,
Yeah.
we're building a pad for my son on my property over here, and so they're not going to actually like leave. But it's like, but yeah, like that kind of we're more lonely because they're not little kids no more. So then our dogs are. I say it all the time. I tell people they're kind of filling that gap, bud. You know what I mean? So I spend a lot of time with them, you know. We're buddies, you know. That's it.
Let me read some of these comments and then we gonna get you A-Rod. I appreciate y'all. So this guy asked for the breed. He said Sentinels are banned, and I asked him what breeds are banned. He said in Poland, owning certain dog breeds requires a special permit, and the owner must undergoing owning certain dog breeds requires. Man, I don't got time for that. I guess that's the rules, but damn, in Poland, let me see, owning certain dog breeds for. You gotta have psychological testing, similar to the procedure of obtaining a firearm. I guess it makes sense, but at the same time, so you can't get pit bulls, wrestlers, bulldogs. What can you like? I guess you can get a shepherd. I guess I would have to. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I get a giant schnauzer, but I'm so used to sentinels though. I do like Caucasian shepherds. They like one of my favorites of alibis.
Yeah, the Turkish Kango.
Yeah, the Kango.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up, Laurel? How you doing? So, what would you say the difference between your ninja and your female so far? Even though she only 8 months, what would you say?
So I had well Ninja done warmed up, but I had Blessing from like small, like 12 weeks. So she a cuddle buddy for real. She loves. So I got actually a Japanese mattress. So like I said, I like just the pack lifestyle. Like being in my pack. So I throw the Japanese mattress down, lay down with them, or I get down there and wrestle with them. And Blessing, she all up under me. She just love me. Ninja be on alert. But at the same time, he got a warrant. It's crazy because he got a soft spot. Because it'd be like at first I'm like, bro, you don't really care about me like that. And then it was like one day it just clicked. It was like, dang, you really do. He walked up like, and I tell you, like my dogs are very intimate. So I'm like basically construction labor worker, and I do a lot of I just work on houses for real. And one day I did a lot of work. I did a demo right back and back, and I was on a roof. Long story short, I ended up hurting myself, and it was like they knew. So Blessing's still a puppy, so she wants to pull. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes she get we breaking that. I've been in the cage before, so I know how it is. I'm out the cage. Let me run. Man, I've never seen her heal like that ever. Ninja, same way. He it wasn't no tugging, nothing like that. It was like they knew I was hurting at the time. Like I wasn't at full strength. Uh I will say like we not on hard times, but we are in transitioning times. I
Mm-hmm.
want to buy like acres and you know what I'm saying, like homestead, self-sufficient like situation. So we're transitioning to that. I know you remember I used to have chain spots. I now have kennels. So like I said, we're
You
trying.
put your own kennels?
Yeah, I got a whole setup. Shout out to Hustle Line. I watch a lot of
That's
their
what's good. You know, Ohio, that's a nice business for you, buddy. A
yeah,
lot of
because we don't have that. I also like I say I build dog houses, stuff like that. I'm always building. And by the way, so I'm big on TikTok. As far as I know, it's another dude. I want to say his name Venezuela. He has a dog out of the Death Wish litter. He's pretty big too. He put out a
oh,
lot of content
the one,
too.
oh yeah, the one that got Ranger and Elsa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's
what up?
me, you, and him.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's just me on there. I push a lot of content. But shout out to all them TikTokers, man. Keep bullying that algorithm. I got actually that A-frame. I got that from Dogfather. I call him my brother. I'm pretty sure we
So
got
what's
like
it? Can y'all explain what an A? I'm not sure. What is that?
it's basically like it's an agility course thing. So you got like the A-frame, you got the tunnel, you got the
Let me see if
weave.
I can find it on one of the pictures you sent. Let me see something. I
That's
got.
the one where Ninja jumping off. I think you just sent me a
Oh
picture
yeah,
of
yeah,
him. He
yeah, yeah, yeah,
jumping off of
yeah.
it.
Okay, okay. So that's what.
But I actually got that from Dogfather, and he got some of the gamest best presses out there. That's my dude. He very humble. But shout out to Pac 50 Goldie. Goldie just dropped the litter. Beautiful dogs, consistency in his stuff. But I got that from him. I was watching him work Pac on that A-frame, and his
That's it
A-frame,
right
I
there,
think.
right? That's an A
Yeah,
frame.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
His A-frame is like so I'm like I'm pretty sure he about my size. His
How y'all
A-frame.
get though? I want mine having that. How do y'all do that? How do y'all
So
get?
basically I just took two pallets. That's only like I would only say that's only 3 feet.
Oh
And
wow.
everybody said I get a lot of the like glory for it, but I got it from him. And his is like 6 or 7 feet because it's tall,
Yeah,
but
that's
because he
amazing.
got presses and man, Pac worked that thing at an old age like it's nothing. Ninja took to it like a fish to water for real,
Wow.
and that with the weighted collars. So I got weighted collars and stuff. So I work my dogs. I feel like I have to work them like I owe them that because if I'm at work, sometimes I may get caught up in the job 12 hours or something. I don't want y'all to be bored and get to chewing stuff. So I'm gonna just tire y'all out. So I do spring pole, weighted collar. I work my dog so that way when I don't have to pay for it later. I'd rather invest that in you. Long walks. We run, we do all that. So you don't because I don't want you to be at home bored. So when I'm here now, I know they're in the cage sleep right now because we went on a long walk this morning. But yeah, it's a couple people out there. I tell y'all to I got
Yeah,
you into it
you
too.
can tell us offline. Yeah, as far as like people.
Yeah, another dude, my dude Mike Lee, he told me about the Barkless Doghouse. He hit me to that. Y'all stay off that man's land. But he got the Barkless Doghouse. I had a thing with Blessing when I first got her. I was in a
What's the
busier
Marcus
neighborhood.
Doghouse? What's that? I never heard of that.
Basically, he designed. It's the first time I seen it, but he made a doghouse to where you could shut the door, so if the dog barking, he's still in there warm. He's still outside because he got game dogs, but it's not annoying his neighbors. His neighbors be on him
Ooh,
about the dogs.
that's smart.
They always bother. Leave that man alone. Let him do what he do.
Oh, he's
But
a breeder. Is he a breeder?
I say more of an enthusiast. I think he's gonna start coyote hunting with his dogs. As far as I know, like I do the live and I talk to him. But basically, it's a sliding door, and he closed the door. The dog could bark all night because it's insulated and everything is
Oh wow.
warm. He can breathe, but at the same time, you don't hear the dog barking all night. You know what I'm saying? That's a design that he showed me. That I looked into. You learn a lot like dealing with people. Like I say, Dog Father give me a lot of game. Blacklist, saying he a good guy. He up in Cleveland. Like you say, the internet makes it a lot smaller. Dios, best dog out there. He a good dog, man. Got brindles. Like I say, it makes the world so much smaller, and you get different game from different people. And yeah, like when you get on there and vibe. And
Yeah.
you'll notice how smart it is. I met some
Yeah, TikTok is. I start to. He said if I hear one smoke detector beep, I'm out. I just found out, y'all, that's not always the smoke detector. That's the alarm. It's mine to it. And I bought a battery for my smoke detector, but it wasn't it. It's the alarm thing.
yeah,
It's not always the smoke detector, y'all. Sometimes it's the alarm system. But yeah, that
I
stuff is like, yeah, that stuff is.
I will say I met some I know Ryu, good looking dog. My dog's uncle. Shout out to him and his owner. I met some of his descendants owners. So like I guess she might have took Ryu to a herder.
Yeah. You met him?
Yeah, I was on live with some of those
Oh wow,
people
okay.
and talked to them. So like I said, make it way smaller. Anybody I forgot, break bread, anybody blacklist, like I said,
I don't.
shout
Yeah,
out to
we
y'all,
don't know
man.
these people. We don't know these people. Are they watching the video?
No, I shared it with
I
them
don't know.
too.
I don't. I'm not sure who
Yeah, I shared it with them to come and
they.
invest into it. But we definitely so I more so represent for the American Sentinel on there, like because I have American Sentinels, but we all vibe, we talk
Yeah, I have
discussions.
to
It's
join
like
you.
this.
I have to join you live because it was asking for like an idea or something. But last night I think I got on live, but I never really. I just done it for like 2 seconds and see if I can do it. So Bert,
What's up?
advice. What advice? Start with you. We go right around again. What advice would you have for people that their first dog they only had a shelter dog, and then now they decided, look, I want me a sentinel. What are some 3 or 4 things that they must do to make sure their experience with a sentinel was proper? Starting with you, Bird.
Okay, yeah, I would recommend getting the dog as a puppy early as possible. I mean, unless you can talk with Lee or Deep South and get, a full grown dog and it works out for your situation. But if you're going from a shelter dog to now you're actually spending money on an animal and a breed, then you got to have a reason. These aren't dogs just to get like, oh, I got a pet. These they want to do something. They want to be active. They want to run. They want to jump. They want to go on long walks.
Little
You got to
dog.
have something for them to do. If not, they're going to just tear your house up, and you're going to lose control of them, and it's going to be a bad experience, and it's not going to be the dog's fault. So I would say, definitely make sure that you're in the right you're in the right mind frame for these dogs too, because they're not for everybody. So you got to make sure that they're for you. That you want your house protected, and you want to have an animal that is going to have your back, and it's going to be a protection dog or a hunting dog. I feel like they got to have a purpose.
Yeah.
That would be a big recommendation. And then I don't think they're really apartment dogs. I mean, I would hope that you would have, at least a yard, or be able to have access to, going on lots of walks or something to make sure that their prey drive, it's going to be naturally there. You're able to work with that so that, you know, they're not so crazy inside, and they're super intelligent. So I wouldn't say that they're hard to train, but you got to spend time with them because, you know, they are smart. So if you're not going to spend time with them, then they're going to figure out how to escape your yard or do something like that. But I mean, I have my dogs. I don't really put them through any like training commands or anything, but since I spend so much time with them, I feel like they know how to act around me. And um, I don't know. If you got the time and dedication and you love animals and especially big dogs, and you're ready for that challenge, I think if you're dedicated, I feel like the American Sentinel is a breed that can work with you a little bit. They're smart, they're willing to please, but it's not something you can only give 50% to. You gotta at least spend the time with them or whatever. So that's just my main thing. But I did want to give a shout out to Mike, because the life his dogs live on that property,
Goddamn.
it looks so amazing, man. I'm so happy for him and his animals, and he just said that he has a bunch of family and friends come over, and the dogs are cool with all that, but they still show signs of protection. I just think that's so awesome because my dogs are the opposite. They're kind of sheltered. Nobody knew is coming around. Nobody knew and it would, like I said, I'd have to muzzle them up or whatever. So yeah, shout out to Mike for just giving his dogs an awesome experiences, running through the water and everything. I took my dogs out, way out in the desert where I knew nobody was going to be at to let them run off the leash because they're never off the leash. And it was just crazy. They both just took off running so freaking far, running, biting each other the whole way, wrestling. And then, of course, a rabbit comes flying out of a bush the whole other way. They both go taking off after that. So once I got them under control, I said, no, I can't do this.
Yeah.
They're too wild. But yeah, I just wanted to give Mike a shout out, man, because
Mike got a little
dogs are
nation.
I
Now,
appreciate it, man. Thank you, bro.
Mike,
Respect, man.
for people that's come through the shelter, do you think you can, if they got a sentinel, do you think they can take them to a dog park?
Oh, no way. Well, see, I don't know because I guess it just depends on on what you want your dog and what you want it for. I just if you start at a young enough age, I'm sure that you can have your dogs at a dog park. The only problem is if there's one dog at that dog park that thinks he's Billy Badass, it's gonna end real bad when they try to play that dominant game, even if maybe your American Sentinel has never shown any signs, just because I don't know. Just as far as with my dogs, I just don't see that happening. I just don't see any like I don't know. I just don't see any other, like, they can play with each other, but they have an understanding. I feel like dogs at the dog parks, you got to really rely on other people's dogs a lot too. So I just don't like dog parks, but I think American Sentinels can do anything. I feel like like Mike had said earlier, they're everything that a dog person would want and more. I think just because they're super intelligent too, and I don't feel like that gets talked about enough. But yeah, they're smart animals.
I wouldn't recommend it because, like you said, it might not be your dog starting this stuff.
Yep.
Another dog, because trust me, I've seen it. You go to the dog park, is always almost 100% of the time at these big dog parks is always a scuffle.
Right.
And these scuffles can get real bad with certain things, so I wouldn't recommend it. What advice would you give to the people? Mike, Razorback.
My advice would be is I would just know what you want, and then I would get a hold of, like, say, Ryan or Lee from D South Sentinels or American Sentinels, and just tell them, be honest with them, and tell them what you want.
That's good. Yeah.
That's what I did. You know what I mean? I tried to get a hold of Lee through an email. Got a hold of Ryan. Ryan called. We talked on the phone, and I just was honest and told him what I want. I told him I got a family. I live on some property. I want a home protection guardian dog. I actually told him, like, I don't need your first pick, like that, because I wasn't really sure at the time. Like, I knew what I was getting, but I didn't know what I was getting. You know what I mean? So I actually told him, I don't need your top one, this and that. I'm just looking for more family dog, but that's like that, And he ended up giving me the dogs that I got. I got both my dogs I didn't pick either one of my dogs. He picked both my dogs. He picked Dixie for me. He picked Vader for me, kind of. You know what I mean? Well, Vader, someone gave him back, and I ended up swooping on Vader. But I never went there and looked at all the puppies and actually picked one. It just kind of, both these dogs just kind of came to me how they came to me through Ryan. But that'd be my advice right there. Is just tell him what you want, and he'll try to line you up with the best puppy out of his litters that probably fits your needs. You know what I mean? Like if you wanted something that's more, aggressive, he might want the one that's on the rag more when they're little puppies, or the one that's, see, like Dixie. Just to throw a story in there, Dixie, when I look back at the videos of that, when I was looking for her, she wasn't the main dog on that rag, that was just wanting the rag. She was kind of the dog that was kind of on the rag a little bit, but then was just kind of following him around and going up to his pant leg, and then he would try to throw back of the rag, and she'd keep going back to his pant leg. She was that dog, and I ended up with her, but she seems like she'd have been the dog that was on that rag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it changed.
Yeah, you don't know about the
You know
puppies.
I mean?
That's just a gamble. You never know because everybody develop differently and different things like that. As far as your workouts, what advice you got for the people that's working their dogs out? Because your dogs is like college athletes. They on a different level. They like Olympians. The way they work.
Well, I just take it like a spin off of what Aaron was saying. They have a lot of energy, so I want to work them out to release some of that energy. So then it's a better environment inside my house while my dogs are chilling with me throughout the evening. So right when I get home, we go do something, you know what I mean? For sure they run or jog or walk 2 miles a day. I mean, that's guaranteed, but we're going to do something, that and a little something, just so I wear them out. That way my house is calmer at night. If I didn't, it'd probably be a lot more wrestling in the house, and it'd be just more bananas. Maybe they would, like I said before, they might start eating your couch, or they would do something because they have all this pent up energy. So when I come home, I get rid of that, so that way the evening's more calmer. And then I also do all that. It's healthy for them, and I'm actually just trying to make them strong, fast, agile, athletic, doing multi stuff, just to give them the best chance, best physical that they could be. You know what I mean? Like as if I'm just kidding. And you know what I do too is I watch all these little conditioning videos. That's my new thing too. I watch all these conditioning videos and what these dog men have done in the past that used to condition their dogs. I kind of take little things from there and kind of add it to my program. And I love that part. I love working out my dogs. That's my thing. You know what I mean? And maybe part of that's just I'm from dense city, Bay Area, California, just millions of people, to now I'm in the country. So then now it's like every day I'm camping, you know what I mean? Or something like that. So I get to cruise around on my side-by-side, and I'm having fun going through the little woods and all these little trails and doing shit because it's still all new to me. It's just, instead of being in the concrete jungle that I'm used to, you know what I mean? So it's kind of, I love it and they love it, and it works out for both of us. We're both out there in nature kind of doing our thing, so.
Before Aaron gets on, how do you, because I'm going to be honest with you, my dogs, they won't deal with no cats. I'm going to be honest with you. Your cats won't end up well. It won't. I'm telling y'all. So I'm amazed at what techniques do you have for the people, because it might be a person that's getting a Sentinel and they already have cats. So how do you manage that? Because Sentinels are strong. Like cats are small.
You ask me.
How do you handle that? Yeah, how do you do that? You don't let them play with it. You don't let them play, right?
Well, they actually no, like these cats will walk by. These cats will walk by and they'll rub on them while the dogs are laying there. They'll rub on them. You know what I mean? It's like it's a good environment. And well, like I said, when we took Dixie when she was a puppy, we brought a cat home, so she kind of grew up with that cat. And then a few months later, we got the other one, and then she just kind of got used to that one. These other two, though, that popped up kind of recently, when Vader was brand new, so like 7 months ago, maybe 6 months ago, that was kind of tricky. That was kind of going from room to room, kind of getting them used to them a little, couple hours here a day, couple hours here a day. Now they can all be together. It's all good. But I would say things like I would have to give them that look. You know what I mean? I'm around my dogs so much they feed off me. I can give them that look and be like, hey, I'll snap my fingers like, I'll be like, hey, I'll do like, hey, that's my cat. Don't touch my cat. And they'll look at me like, okay, you know what I mean? Okay, boss. You know what I mean? A lot of that kind of shit, or you know, that like be nice, you know, and it just started off kind of like that, and then everything just kind of where it's all good now. You know, they'll be laying on my bed, a cat will jump on my bed and kind of it'll rub on Dixie. She just kind of gives that look like, man, you don't even know, but she's all good. You know what I mean? They get along. They get along. I got 4 cats in the house right now with my wife.
At home, your dogs is crazy, so they not free with these cats when you're not around, basically.
Yeah, like right now in my living room right now, I got 4 cats and I got 4 dogs. I got that little Chihuahua. I got my son's wire-haired Griffin, 2 Sentinels, 4 cats. So I got 8 animals all in the living room right now, and 2 of them are the Sentinels, and everything's all good. You know what I mean?
Hey Rod, what that was a good information, because like that's why I'm glad you're answering, because I can't answer that because I already know what's gonna happen. Hey Rod, what advice would you give to people just getting Sentinels? What advice would you give them?
The biggest thing is keep a fertile mind. Like, this approach to life, period. Every day is a learning day. So I know me, I spoke on the TikTok situation, but I learned a lot from them guys. You know what I'm saying? I learned a lot from those peoples. I like physique of dogs, you know what I'm saying? So I do watch a lot of pit bull, the game dog confirmation shows, like how they get their dogs ready for that. I like an athletic looking dog. I like to see my dog enjoying life. Just different things. I never, if I would never seen the Alabama wall meal where they put the rag and have them run around the little fence. Like I said, every day is a learning day. So don't just get stagnant. You know what I'm saying? And I think my dogs enjoy that when they like the new experiences. They be like, whoa, like the first time, like I say, monkey see, monkey do over here. So watching Blessing get up on the doghouse, being that she's majority mastiff, and the way she moving, she trying to move like a pit bull, and she like technically is running with a pit bull. It'd be amazing just watching them do new experiences, and the peace you get when they're asleep or gnawing. Cause I ain't gonna lie, sometimes it's like, okay, I know I need to take you outside. Let me tire you out. I done had a long day. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, it's just, every day is a learning day. Try something new.
Yo, Byrd, talk about your Byrd. Byrd inspired me. I done the video because I was like, let me walk my dog. Like, I done 3.5 miles, but Byrd, tell them about your what you do as far as your own workouts, and also how you be walking with your dog in Vegas, y'all. In Vegas. So like I say, if you're wondering if Sentinels, we all know how hot Vegas is. It's a literal desert. It's literally in the desert, y'all.
I want to hear about the bungees and the weighted vests, bro. Give us a rundown on that.
Yeah, I will. You know, and back to your question beforehand, I think Mike said it best. Call Lee or Ryan at Deep South. Explain your situation if you really want a Sentinel, and I think they'll point you in the right direction. Whether you're going from a shelter dog or you just see them, I think that's just honestly the best advice is to talk with them, because they're gonna give you a dog that's kind of made for you. But with that being said, yeah, I love to work out. You know, it's just like I said, it's part of my mental health routine, and in fact, while I'm working out, I'm away from my dog, so I miss them. So I'm like, oh, you know, it's kind of funny. Like, I can't even be away from them for longer than 3 or 4 hours before I'm like, oh, I miss my dogs. You know, I want to get back home to them. But yeah, I work out every day of the week, no days off. But now that I'm, you know, Vegas, I'm kind of on the opposite schedule, where in Vegas, you know, the summer is so hot that I just kind of just keep the walks to like a 5 mile walk or like a 4 to 5 mile walk, which is like 2 hours.
In the summer.
Yeah, in the summer only. Yeah, in the summer. But now that it's winter time and it's cooling off, this is my favorite. So I kind of have a rule where I have a weighted collar that I use for Cairo, and I have a weighted vest that I use for Rebel Girl. And I wait till the temperature is under 70 degrees because the collar has like a lot of like soft fur on the inside of it for padding, and so does the collar. And I just, I don't want them to overheat while we're, 6 miles away from the house. But yeah, so now that the temperature's dropping, I'm starting to do that at night where they're each wearing a vest, in the collar. And so basically what I do is just to get them used to wearing it, I don't put any weight in it the first week. Now they're used to it, but if you're a beginner, you just want to put it on your dog with no weight and let them wear it. But what I basically do is I go 1 pound for 1 week, 2 pounds for 2 weeks, 3 pounds for 3 weeks, always letting them get used to the weight, all the way to where it seems like it's nothing. And then I'll add another pound in there until it seems like, okay, this is a real good spot for them to stay at. And then I give them, 4 days. I work them out 4 days a week, and I give them 3 days off. So they have Wednesday and the weekends off, just to give their joints time to heal and recover. And since they can't talk or whatever, I recommend definitely keeping an eye on them, analyzing, how their movement is and stuff, just to make sure that before you work them out again, they're ready to go. And Cairo, he loves to just, I don't know, pull, work, he's kind of hyper. So what I did was, instead of me just yanking him all the time, because I kind of like him to pull because it wears him out. And, I like a little workout too. So I'm like, kind of pulling back on him, and we're just going on our walks. And if I really wanted to, I could get him to not pull and just, but anyways, he likes to kind of pull. So I created this little bungee leash thing where I took a bunch of bungee cords and I braided them together, and then I tied them to his harness, and then got a little handle that you would use to connect to like a weight machine or whatever, so that it can handle the force of Cairo pulling. And what that does is it basically, whenever he pulls, he can pull and really get a lot of tension. In fact, the farther out he gets, the more tension is on the leash, but it doesn't yank my arm because all the tension goes into the bungee. And so what he can do is he can kind of get into a situation where he's kind of always pulling a little bit, but it's never really yanking on me. And what that does is it just really helps their back end out. Like I said, he's wearing the collar. His body's more made for the collar. He has a longer neck. And so for him to wear the weighted collar is just, I don't even think he knows. He notices. He doesn't act like it's anything, no matter what the weight is, he just acts the same. But yeah, as far as that bungee thing, he loves to just be in that pocket where he's kind of pulling. He's got the tension on the bungee, but at the same time, I'm not really going through a lot because the bungee's absorbing all the little movements and differences in tension and stuff. And Rebels, she's a little different. She will definitely fire up if there's somebody walking towards us, or shoot, even walking across the street or whatever. But most of the time she doesn't pull all the way out front. Every now and again she'll go out front if she thinks Cairo sees something or whatever. But for the most time, she walks really good right next to me, and just she wears the weighted harness, and she just rocks that thing, and that's more like on her body and stuff because her neck isn't as long and skinny as his. So it just seems to work out best like that. And then, yeah, man, now that it's cooling down, I'm going on 7 and 8 mile walks. My goal is to map out a 10 miler where, because the longer I go, the closer I'm getting to more people. And they're, they don't have common sense. So they'll cross the street right into me. They'll see me walk with my dogs. Next thing you know, a guy's running across the street right at me. Like, come on, bro, So it's just, I got to watch out for those people. So, yeah, I want to do a 10 miler so bad. I'm like, it'll be about 4 hours. I'll have to, but yeah, for right now, this is my favorite time, like the winter workouts. And this is where they, I really kind of dial them in, because the summer it's so hot that, you just you can't work them out as much, and you got to try to keep them a little bit leaner.
What type of like?
I got a quick question for y'all, right? Because I
Yeah.
know y'all work y'all dogs. Do y'all notice like in the colder months they like a little leaner? Because I seen Ninja today, I'm like, man, and I ain't really working, but at the same time, he was popping out. You know, he was showing off. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but I
Even for
definitely noticed in
humans,
the colder months.
even for humans, since it's colder outside and it's less sun, we have a tendency to gain more weight. That's what I'm thinking. That's how it would be
No,
for.
I'm talking about just the physique. Like
That's what
I
I'm saying.
never really.
I would think it would be the opposite, where you would gain weight and not be as lean. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I
No,
guess. I
it
guess
just seemed like I don't know if he shivered, he was cold, but he was definitely flexing this morning for sure.
maybe he.
Yeah,
Maybe, yeah, I don't know.
I was kind of interested in what the other gentlemen, how they're feeding, what they feed, and what their feed is. I remember Mike kind of talking about maybe like a kind of like a broth that he creates last time or something. But I'm open to feeding my Sentinels a new way, because the man, they both turned into everything I want them to be. And I feel like, as far as me, the only thing I'm really slacking on is their food. Like, I give them dry kibble with like a can of soup mixed in, and I'm like, all right, they like it and stuff, but I could do better. Like, and I'm not sure if I want to go raw, or if I want to do a mixture of both. And I'm kind of like wishy-washy on what Cairo's true weight is, because he's a natural conditioner. So if I feed him more, I can't really see it right away, because he's always in motion. So he's gained a couple pounds since last time, but he doesn't really look like it overall. Just his
Perfect.
muscles look more denser.
Why he won't get tired. I tell you that. He'll
Yeah.
go on and on and on and on and on. Like, he'll look like he'd go. Like, especially he in Vegas right now. So say if he was hunting pigs, then he won't get tired. And he might have
No.
and he's strong. So if you get another dog, that's why Lee always tell you that's his favorite weight, around 90. That's his ideal weight for size.
I'll tell
Yeah.
you, me personally, I'm like 50-50 for real. So I have a meat market here, and they have actual dog boxes that's like $20, and you get like
Oh,
chicken
nice.
backs, the broken chicken legs, stuff like that, just scraps for real. And they give it to you for $20. I think it's a pretty good deal. I might mix that in with like some green beans, but I definitely for sure feed kibble because I don't want my dogs to get too bougie. But yeah, I for the most part, I'm 50-50 for real.
Yeah, I'm still
And
doing.
fasting too. I do fast once a week.
Nice.
I'm still doing that crock pot stuff that I do.
They
So
don't know about it, Mike. So you gotta break it down for them.
so I mean, you there's probably 1,000 different ways to do it, 1,000 different answers from people about food. I'm no expert. This is what I do from little things that I learned. But so instead of like buying a $70 bag of dog food, I buy a $40 bag of dog food. It's called Black Label. It's called Value Pack Black Label. It's the stuff that Ryan feeds his dogs. I asked him, hey, what do you feed your dog? You get it from a feed store. So like out here in the country, they got feed stores. I'm not sure about in Vegas if you can find it. It might be like back home, kind of maybe there's no feed stores. But anyways, it's called Value Pack Black Bag, and it's got all the good stuff inside there that the $70 bags have. So then I figured, okay, so instead of spending $70 and just giving them dry kibble, if I spend $40 and it's good dry kibble, just like the $70 bag, that extra $30 I could spend on leg quarters, kidney beans,
Okay.
carrots, rice, and apples and shit like that. So like I'm making some right now. I just take a 10-pound of leg quarters. I take all the fat off it. I chop it all up. I put that in the crock pot. I put 2 cups of rice. I put 2 cans of kidney beans. I chop up a sweet potato. I put that in there. I put in today. I put in it's called tamarack. Tamarack. It's a powder. Tamarack powder, good for like inflammation and stuff like that for dogs. I put that inside there, and then I make that crock pot. and then when it's done, I take out all the bones because dogs can't have cooked bones. I take out all the bones, and then when that's done, then I'll open 3 cans of green beans and I pour it on the top, and I just mix it all up. So with that extra money, I make this little contraption
Sounds
twice a
good.
week, and then I feed them. I used to just feed them a massive amount, right? And then they started getting a little chunky. Dixie was getting a little chunky, so then I seen this lady on there. She has it where so many cups. So then I give her 2 scoops of dry food and 2 cups of this contraction stuff that I make, and then I also cut up apples and I sprinkle apples on top and a sardine every day. So that's my extra $30 that I save. I put that's what I do, and then
So do
Vader.
you have just one day where you make all this stuff up and then it's good for the whole week, or
Yeah,
how is that?
I make it twice a week. So like, so I'll make it Sunday, and then I'll have to make it again on Thursday. It's kind of twice a
Oh,
week.
okay.
Yeah, so you figure, but it's the extra money. Instead of buying like premium dog food, I buy
Right.
a good one, and just with extra cash, I do that, and I just make it in a crock pot. You just get a crock pot bag that goes in there. You just throw the bag away when you're done, bud. 2 days a week, I make
Gotcha.
it. I'm just trying to just feed them healthier. Is what it was
Yeah.
my thing. But I was just trying to just different shit, and I'm just kind of sticking to it. I've been through the goat milk thing. So when we had Vader when he was a puppy, I did the goat milk. I give him goat milk until I don't know again until about a month ago. I stopped doing
Yeah.
that. That was just like a little extra, just for the nutrients and all that while he's still young. But that's just what I do, bud. I don't
Do
know.
y'all,
Nice.
any of y'all on here do any supplements? If so, what supplements do you do? If you do any, I don't know.
I don't.
You don't?
No.
I do. I get Rebel just something. I get a hip thing just because she has more mastiff in her. So I just think about like, oh, she's a little bit heavier. So not a little bit heavier, but her back end is a little bit thicker and stuff. So I just give her that. I don't think she really like needs it a whole bunch, but for some reason I seem to keep buying a bag of this hip uh
Hip and
and
joint.
cartilage like thing or whatever. I don't even know if it's really working or not, but yeah, that's what I did. So I guess I do give her a supplement. She doesn't show any signs of any bad hips or anything, but I just know as she gets older with her size, I don't want her hips to go out on her at 6 or 7, even though the rest of her spirit. So as far as anytime I've had big dogs though, when they get old, the hips would seem like the first thing to go. So for her, I don't know. I decided I was gonna start giving her a supplement. Maybe you guys can school me up. Maybe if she doesn't need it, maybe I shouldn't be giving it to her. But I was just kind of thinking in the long run about the supplement, about the hip
I,
thing.
I, cool. I think
I,
it's cool. Something I probably need to look into. Hey, here's that crock pot stuff I'm talking about right
You
here.
need to come out with your line. That's what I'm saying. I've been telling you
Yeah,
once, Mike. You need to come out with your own dog food line.
This is it right here. Chicken all at the bottom, and then I
It looks
throw
like
beans.
it's human. That's definitely human grade too.
Oh, it's
yeah.
human
Mike
grade for
munchies
sure.
and
I
dog
mean,
food.
yeah, for sure.
That's
You know,
I'll tell
definitely.
you, me personally though, like, cause I'm in the workout scene too. Well, I'm trying to get. I work a lot, but I know just feeding naturally, like just eating it. So like you said, the turmeric. I add turmeric, um, pumpkin seeds for worm and stuff like that. I just try to find like things they could just naturally eat
Do you
that keep
crush them
them
up?
healthy.
You just feed them the pumpkin seeds.
No, they be crushed. I crushed them up. I guess
Okay.
like I read or like I heard from several like I say, just reading. Uh, I'm actually now looking for a lot for rabbits for because the fur. They say the fur is fiber
Mm,
and it cleans that anal duct or whatever.
I heard about that.
Um,
I heard the straight rabbit. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, the
Yeah,
rabbit.
so like I do things. I try to go the natural route instead of the what's name. As far as like hips and stuff like that, I will say I'm big. So we on the camera, but I'm 6'7" for real. Um,
You got
I'm
it's
at 300,
player
but
height.
I will tell you 250. So coming out, I was 250. 250 feels way different than 300. So with that said, I know Blessing is bigger. She's gonna be a bigger dog. I just watch weight. I
Mhm.
asked Ryan about that situation. He told me like, yeah, she's still a puppy. Just go ahead. You can keep like, don't cut. But like, I know eventually I'm gonna have to cut back, and she's very food motivated, but I'm gonna have to cut back. And me personally, I just like a leaner dog because it keeps that alignment.
She
You
looked
ain't
Hmm.
worried about, you know what I'm saying? If you ever did yoga, or I'm pretty sure everybody worked out here, it's a difference in alignment when you're leaner. I like leaner, longer muscle. I'm
she
not
looked
into
lean.
bulk.
She looked lean already at only almost 8 months. So by the time she here, she gonna be her muscles gonna be popping because she already looked lean.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like I say, she'll finish Ninja Bowl. I feed her. So if I give kibble, I give her 2 cups. I give Ninja 1 cup,
Oh, okay,
and that's whole cup, like a measuring cup. Like I use a measuring cup.
got you. What are some starting with you, Rebel? What are some like equipment must have equipment or toys that you recommend for your Sentinels? Equipment, because you know a lot of times, like I said, people get all these toys. This. I'm just wondering how y'all do with the toys. Or do y'all use toys?
I got like a little couple tug ropes laying around or whatever that they can grab and get crazy with if they want. But yeah, my main equipment is the weighted collar, the weighted vest, and then my breaking stick. Um, just just to have even sometimes when they get crazy on the rope, I got to get the breaking stick to get one of them off so I could work on the other one because they get so worked up, and as
Can
soon
you
as I get around, they don't want to let go.
do another demonstration on how to use that, please?
Oh, the
I'm gonna be honest with you.
brother, can you
I'm
grab
gonna
that breaking
buy
stick?
one. Put it like that. I'm gonna have to buy one because stuff is a little different now since I got my other puppy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure everybody knows. Basically, is you want to keep your hand at the very end, and like I said, just try to wait till the fight calms down. If you try to rush into whatever you're trying to get them to break off of, you're entering into their little mouth zone where they're basically worked up or they're all the way turned up. They could let go and try to regrip onto your hand or whatever. So before rushing in there, make sure that you got kind of like a plan of action. You know which dog you're gonna break. You got to break off and also try to think about how you're going to remove them from the situation. But as far as actually breaking them off, you got to get the stick in the back of the mouth, get it in there, and then turn it. You don't really want to pry it or anything like that. It's not really going to work too well. It's best just to turn it. You have more power turning it. Kind of doing this. I mean, Cairo's grip is so strong. This exact breaking stick, the other one broke. It flexed and bent. Like I said, one time I really had a hard time because he likes to spin, almost kind of like an alligator. He'll just start spinning on. He learned it from biting on the fence, and the things would hang off the fence, and he'd be hanging from it, spinning around, going crazy. But so yeah, man, you just want. But so the main thing is to just turn it. Get it in there good and turn it. I like to grab their neck fur and have them controlled by that, so
Okay.
that as soon as I pop them off, I can remove their neck and their head so that they can't re-grip on anything or the other animal, and then I pick them up and basically remove them from the situation. Luckily, all the other dogs, they have wanted to get out of the situation. So as soon as I popped off my dog, the other dogs ran off. But yeah, man, that's just kind of like what I would say is not to panic, don't rush in there, but try to get the breaking stick in far back as you can into the mouth, because the closer up you have to the front, the less effective it's going to be. And Cairo's front teeth are super big and long, so that was another thing I was trying to rush in too quick, and I just couldn't get it because his every time I would try to pop him off, his front teeth would still be engaged. So especially with a dog like Cairo that has long teeth and maybe a longer snout, you really got to get far back. But it's not that hard if you turn. If you try to pry it open or muscle it up, yeah, they're just gonna turn up a little bit too because they feel the stick go in there, and like with my dogs when it's tug of war, they're they get even more crazier when I get the stick ready to get them off. So just make sure you have a plan of action.
Which stick you? This is Cairo's teeth right there, y'all. He got some long ass teeth. His teeth like a wolf, like a
Yeah.
real like wolf. Look how long his canines are, bro.
Yeah, I don't even do them justice either. They're super sharp, man. I got cuts all over me from Jim, and he don't even bite hard, but he just likes to come up and, you know,
It's
bite
big.
on my arm a little bit, like, "Hey, I'm right here, pet me," you know. And I'm just like, man, this kid's huge.
So which breaking stick you recommend that's not gonna break, and where would you get it from?
Yeah, I got mine on Amazon. It's a little bit longer than this one, and it's a one that's on my dog belt right now, and uh it's made of like plastic and nylon or whatever, so it's kind of smooth, and and it's a little bit wider, so when you turn it, it creates a bigger space to open up. And it's made for all dogs, especially like maybe like police dogs and German shepherds. If they want to, you know, if they're having trouble with the release command right away, then they'll have a breaking stick or whatever. But yeah, I just get mine off of Amazon. It has a blue handle. It's all black, and that's been the best one because of the material it's made. It has no flex in it. It's kind of, you know, smooth, so it's able, you're able to place it well, and it has enough length on it that you get good torque and your hands out of the way. So once they're, you know, the grip is off, you're good to go.
So Chris, shout out to Chris. Chris has a female from Cobalt and Voodoo. So she probably coming up on a year now. So shout out to Chris. He got her doing nose work and everything. So he said Sentinels can do a lot of different things. So she's doing nose work and everything. So yeah, you gotta text me that link, Bird, when you get a chance, because like I said.
Yeah, my brother's bringing me the other breaking stick right now. I'm gonna show you the difference in it, just because or what it looks like, just because this one has worked good for me. So if anybody needs a breaking stick, I mean, Cairo was into a good one, and this came through. But this is a lot longer. You can see the comparison.
Which one is better, the one on top?
No, yeah, the black one. It has no give in it at all. You see, it's kind of flat. It's a lot flatter, and then when you turn it, it creates that bigger opening. So a dog like an American Sentinel that has, you know, a lot of force, but also a pretty, you know, good sized snout. Man, you get this in there, and it works a lot better than this wooden stick. Like I said, Cairo broke the other one. This is actually from Schoolboy. I don't know if you know what Schoolboy is, the American Game Dog guy, Richard Garcia. Schoolboy.
Oh, Schoolboy, yes. Can you hold them
Yeah.
side by side in the camera so they can see?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So the one on the left, you want to get that one. Okay, it's big. Okay,
Yep.
okay, yeah.
And this is connected to my little dog, my little belt thing that, you know, I get that has a little extra loop on it. But yeah, this thing goes everywhere. I wear this with me whenever I go out and leave the house with my Sentinels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of like one of my little equipments. But yeah, it's just that's what I like to do as far as, you know, make sure if my Sentinel's getting to something, I'm not going to overreact. I got everything I need right there to break them off, and then I just use the breaking stick or whatever. But yeah, man,
That's important. Yeah. You got any equipment? I know you got the Mike. You got the whatever that's. I don't know if that's a 4-wheeler. I don't know what you be riding. But what any other equipment you got? Like any toys you use, or what else? What you got?
So like for their collars, I just use those like they're like people that take their dogs like pig hunting or like hound dogs that go hunting. It's like a glow in the dark kind of collar. It's got a brass name tag on it. So I use the glow kind of at nighttime. It's a kind of reflection on it. Out here it's dark, so then I kind of like that glow in the dark color. So when they're out here, kind of running around when I'm out here, I can kind of see where they're at a little bit, which helps me out. For bones in the house, I get those ones from like you get at Walmart. They're like that neoprene hard plastic kind of material that can't really tear up too good. It takes them a long time. I got a couple of those in the house that they love to chew on. They chew on them every day at some point. You know what I mean? Flirt pole. I've showed you my homemade flirt pole before. It's just basically just a PVC pipe that I got a piece of rope on, and I got a burlap sack that I tie with duct tape onto. I tie it onto here. So this is my flirt pole that I'll use. I use this a lot. Just tie a knot on one end and make sure the rope's long enough. I use that on with a lot. The spring pole that I got hanging up, same concept with a spring, a little bit of rope. It's got the burlap sack on it too. I use duct tape to kind of make two handles that they jump up and grab. Vader's not doing that at all yet. Just Dixie. Dixie just does that. He wants to, but I'm just letting his teeth kind of get in. Let his teeth get set. I won't let him do it till he was like a year. But he wants to. He loves the flirt pole. What other equipment do I use? I always make sure that I have a leash. Like one time, my wife took the dogs to go pick my son up from football practice, and I said, "Dang, you forgot to bring leashes. What, the car broke down? What are you gonna do with these dogs? You know what I mean? You ain't gonna be able to do. You can't handle these dogs with no leashes. She could even hold them probably both. You know what I mean? So always got to make sure that there's a leash in the car in case you forget. You know, that's about it though, bud. You know, just that's it. I mob around my little side by side. They chase me with that. I got dog beds. I got 3 dog beds in the house, 1 living room, 1 on both sides of my bed. Shampoo. I'm still playing with different shampoos and stuff like that. So I got 4 different shampoos that I'm kind of using because I'm always giving them baths. You know, because hey, that's one thing. Like I said before, these dogs, dude, their coats are so soft. You know, so soft, like a teddy bear. And Vader's got his hair's a little bit longer than Dixie's, so it's even softer than hers. And I used to think hers was the best you could get, you know what I mean, or whatever. So I'm still kind of playing with shampoos. I found a really good conditioner because I got horses, and so we use this stuff called Horse and Mane.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, I use that. You can use that for humans.
You can do the conditioners.
The white bottle.
Yep, it's a white bottle Horse and Mane on there. The conditioners, that's real good for the dogs. It's almost like coconut butter or regular butter on their skin. You know what I mean? It's pretty good.
Mike, I don't want to ask too much. Are they close by where you can show the people? Because Steven in the group, Steven is in Vegas. I was trying to link it up, but Bird's dog is not as too friendly for Steven to really meet, so people can want to see him. Are they pretty close by?
Yeah, I go get them.
I didn't seen
my dogs.
You got your sisters there.
My dogs look just like Bird's dogs, bud. Same color, same color male. Look like the same size. They look like Bobsy twins. But every time I see his dogs, I'm like, dude, those look like just like my dogs. You know what I mean?
So why you doing that, Aaron? What's your equipment? Because Aaron is not only Aaron knows a lot of stuff. He into meditation. He probably into UFOs. He's a builder. He can build stuff with his hand. He has a gift from God. And I'm trying to tell him, like, bro, I can't do that. He just trying to say, I can't. No, bro, you're gifted. That's not my gift. The stuff that you do.
By the way, I am in the UFOs. You know, they got Atlanta. What's the Atlanta? I don't know if y'all seen the Atlanta alien, but he a funny dude. But I say the biggest thing is right now is containment. Keeping your dogs under control. I don't know if y'all really into that, but this is the time of year when the shelters fill up. And I don't know if y'all ever been to shelters. I will say this year I probably rehomed about 5 or 6 dogs.
Just okay. I'm surprised you got a Sentinel. I would think that you was a adopt or don't shop type person.
No, because I will tell you I'm big on Sentinel is a big responsibility. And I don't, and even talking to my decoy, we had that talk of, he said, yeah, these are the dogs that give pit bulls bad names because he knows how intense Ninja is. And right now I have a female with her coming up on 8 months. That's why I upgraded to kennels. I don't want a male will come miles and miles off a scent of a dog in heat.
Yeah.
And I don't need no accidental litters. Even having Ninja in the house, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't want no accidental litters. I don't want to see the American Sentinel in the I don't want to see them in a pound, you know what I'm saying? So I will definitely think containment,
So
recall.
what equipment do you have that you use?
So
What
like
do you have?
I just studied different concepts. So I'm actually building a kennel now. So like some of the things I did concrete pavers. So I did 3 feet of concrete pavers, a 5x10. I do 3 feet of concrete pavers. Um, Dog father told me, he like, man, you want to keep your dog on the grass because it keep him with that cat-like movement. So I do the 3 feet of concrete pavement. I got 7 more feet. I just buy a cattle panel and I throw the cattle panel on the ground. That way they can't dig out. And then I use wood, just basically build a little metal roof because those vinyl roofs that you buy, those eventually wear out. I just build a metal roof, basically get some 2x6s. You feel me? Drill it to cause I'm tall. Like you don't even got to use a 2x6. You could use a 2x4 if you under 6 feet. But I'm 6'7", so I don't like ducking. I'm actually adding solar light in there, so like when I feed at night, I could go in there. And mind you, my dogs don't stay out all the time, but I make sure they're very comfortable. Insulated dog house. I build a double den. I won't be building double dens because I already got a roof over my kennel, so I don't need a double den technically. Ninja get a double den because I keep him on chain spot. Ninja's a guard dog. I also don't have to worry about Ninja getting pregnant. So
Yeah, that's different when you got a girl.
yeah, so I do, you know what I'm saying? I have upgraded to so inside my kennels I do so it's a 5x10, so I keep a 7 foot lead in there. It's 7 feet, but it's about 6. So they can't jump over and hang themselves. Either way, it's a roof, but they still got enough room to move around if they do, because they will hit that latch and get out. So like if I forget, I latch them. Like I make sure they're well contained. I have upgraded, like Lee say the double links. How he do double links. I have upgraded to the screw double link. So not only do it clasp, you could screw it up. Like if I had one, I would show you, but you can actually screw it to where like it's really like a solid link for real.
Gotcha.
um, but y'all definitely say that invest in maybe because these dogs like to work. I'm headed towards agility course. Like I said, there's so many other things to do with dogs than just breed them. Let's win a Schützen competition, whatever that's called. Schützen, what's that thing?
IGP. It's IGP. That's the same thing.
Whatever it is, agility course. Let's win an agility competition. There's so many other things to do with the dog than just breed and sell dogs. Let's work them. You know what I'm saying? Let's make them worth it. But like I say, the biggest thing I think is probably containment because, like I say, this is the time of year when the shelters fill up. People get tired. They want to Netflix and chill. They don't want to hear their dog farting or whatever the dogs do when you know what I'm saying? They get tired of them and get rid of them. Puppy sentinels can be a lot. They chew, they're active, they want to do stuff. They don't know too much, but they want to run and do what they do. A lot
Got
of people get rid of them, you know what I'm saying, at a young age.
Make sure if you get a Sentinel, make sure you reach out to me, Jaguar the Band Dog. Hey, mom, we almost coming to an end. Show Cairo and Rebel. You mind? Show Cairo.
Yeah. Cairo, come on.
Yeah, Cairo.
Come on. Here, son.
Just coming on. Cairo is scratching Halo. He'll be 3 years old on 420.
It's my buddy Cairo.
Cairo.
And he is a super lovable man. He's hyper and he definitely wants me to get up and go let him out back. But
Show his teeth. Show his teeth. Show his teeth,
come here, son. Come here. Come here. Come here, son. You gotta get on camera. Come here, papa.
I go through the same thing.
All of y'all got brindles except me, and that's my favorite color. Y'all know brindle's my favorite color. I'm mad, bro. I got 2 phones.
Yeah, that's Cairo. Oh my bad. And then got Rebel right. She was right here beside me. Rebel.
Rebel look like
what you doing?
Dixie.
Yeah,
She's just right here. She's just always by me. Wait. But yeah, man, do your guys as females carry their weight different. Like if I feed Rebel too much, she'll gain weight quick. You know, like I really got to watch her feeding way more than I do Cairo. I don't know if that's something with you guys, but
I've
it
been
just seems like
Yeah, I
maybe
I,
say like
in a couple months.
her. So I feed once a day. So her weight in the morning is way different than her weight at night. And also she got a more athletic look. Ninja is more like bodybuilder. I
Yeah.
don't know. I call him he like a little Bruce Lee for real, but
mhm.
Blessing is like a tight like a wide receiver type build for real. Like she real long and lean for real.
Yeah,
But
I
it
got
definitely changed from feed times. Like and at night she just I say she big and bloated, but in the morning it's definitely a difference.
yeah, I'm with you,
And
bro.
she pick it up faster too. Yeah, I definitely would say that.
Yeah,
Okay.
mine's kind of same as yours, Bird. Same kind of deal. I don't know if it's just that, if that it's the blood that's in our dogs right there. Our girls, man, they'll put on a little bit of weight. I had to cut back. I had to like measure her food, bud, because she'll get a little. Like when I run her, you'd see her skin moving a little bit. Like she's got that thicker kind of skin a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
I,
No, I
I
seen them. You're right. They're built. She's got the same build as Rebel. That
yep.
especially the back end. That's why I'm like I can really see it a lot easier when she gains any type of weight because it just all goes to her back end. And I'm just like goodness.
Big
I
old, they
you
got
know
bud. Yeah, they our dogs got butts. You know, I mean, big, strong, muscle legs, man.
Probably maybe it's like that, like because they have kids, just like a female human. Maybe it's like that.
Maybe that.
mhm,
Yeah, higher estrogen
that's a
levels.
good point.
Yeah, it's probably like that because they gotta have the baby. So it's probably like that.
Yeah, I started measuring my food, bud. That's what I did. Two cups,
Okay.
2 cups of dry, 2 cups of that shit that I make, sprinkle apples, and 1 sardine. I was just doing like whatever I thought visually. You know, what I mean, I was seeing like, oh, I wanted to kind of shrink her down, and I started to see her kind of. I want to see her muscles pop a little bit more and make her a bit more. She's. I can see she moves better. I was putting.
Yeah.
I was feeding her. I was overfeeding her. I mean, I still could be, but I'm definitely cut down. You know.
Yeah, I measure too. I say I measure too. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
As we come to an end, Aaron, I don't know if I asked you this before. I'm gonna start with you. If you could pick one special quality, like one secret power, superpower to have, what would that be and why? And it can be anything. I'm talking about anything. You
Just
can
off the dome right now,
a
the
super.
power to create peace at any time in any situation. Just that's just straight off the dome.
So your
Quick,
superpower would be to be have supreme peace.
supreme peace. Just to come in any situation, just it becomes peaceful.
That's good. That's good. You wouldn't need no sentinels then, because you'll just be you'd be a peaceless.
No, because I'm not gonna lie. When I come home and that little nub get to ragging and that them snuggles. When I'm in the car, I know a lot of people got that picture in the car with the sentinel over their shoulder and
Yep.
that little cheek rub. All I just seen a lot of pictures like that. I got one. A lot of people got it. I like that. I like when she. I just got my beard back. She was looking for my beard. Like, where your beard at, bro? She loved my beard.
So you'll have. What about you, Mike? What superpower would you have? So
Ooh, man.
before you answer it, mine would be to have like divine concentration skills, and the reason why is because I'd be like studying like the monks and stuff. Like the more you can concentrate, you can develop abilities to fly. You can read people's mind. You can do all those different things. So supreme high level concentration. So I'm talking about supreme because I have a tendency to get distracted easy. But that's what my superpower would be. What about you, Mike?
Uh, I don't know. I guess something that just comes off the top of my head would be the power to bring back our loved ones that have passed away, so we could
Oh, that's a good
talk
one.
to them time, maybe, or you know what I mean, or be with them more. I guess
Yeah.
something like that.
You'll be a god, Mike. That's like God. You'll be a god to bring them back.
I mean, yeah,
Hey,
I don't know. That's just what comes to my head. Bring back the dead. So I guess Oh, bro, you know what I mean? Shoot, I don't know.
Shout out to my man Lamont the scientist. He about to drop it. I'm gonna gotta get. He was like the first person I interviewed too. He got the baddest bull herders in the game. If you're looking for a bull herder, this guy, he's a sign. He knows what he's doing. What would your special power be?
Oh man, you know I'm in the middle of a midlife crisis. You know I'm 42, so I want to live forever. You know I'm out.
You'll
I
be able
want
to
to
live
live forever. I
forever?
want to be with my dogs forever. I want to, you know, I want to be around. You know, I'm not really trying to lay in the dirt. You know what I mean?
That's
So
I'm
you
the
trying to
best
live.
part.
you'll live forever.
Yeah,
Let me think. You'll see some stuff 500 years from now, boy. It
yeah. You
probably,
know I'm gonna experience it all, I guess. You know, but I'm ready for it. But Jalik, I had a question for you.
yeah.
You had said something kind of like in one of your videos where you're like, you had kind of maybe like mentioned like maybe your chakra was rubbing off on Jaguar a little bit.
I got time. I
Oh,
told you, yeah, because I already told you if I showed you the videos, Jaguar is kind of tolerant with other dogs. He's not really.
yeah, you mentioned.
However, my girl Chakra is not. She's not basically. She's
I
not
could tell.
at all.
I could tell.
And you know how they say whoever you hang around, if you hang around people that work out, whoever you hang around, you're gonna basically start to beat. You're
Yeah,
gonna be like them, even if you didn't try. It's just gonna happen. So now I basically almost had some accidents, and I fell. I almost had some accidents, y'all, with some
yeah.
other dogs. Yeah. So I said I gotta get a
With
break
loose dogs.
because you know Jaguar is 115, and then her.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Then one dog is powerful, but when they come together, it's like having the power of 4 dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yep.
It's superpower. So
It drag you down the street.
he's rubbing off on him like he to do that. So I gotta put him back through training again. I could take him around dogs everywhere. But now she's trying to go after every dog. So
Yeah.
I got to get me a breaking stick. So
Yeah.
he's teaching. I guess he teach her like the guard because she basically kind of act like him around the house as far as guarding and stuff too. So, but yeah, that's your dogs is gonna rub off on each other. These are fact, and she much younger than him. These are
Yeah, it's
facts.
monkey see, monkey do over here too.
He
So,
gotta protect her or something. It's crazy. Though. I gotta read my training.
I'll send you a breaking stick if you want. I got 2 of those same ones. I got. I don't mind.
If you want to be given, I can't turn it down.
Well, yeah, because you said chakra is starting to turn up a little bit. It'd probably be best if you were prepared.
Because it was real close, y'all. I'm gonna tell
Yeah.
y'all off camera because I don't want to be on it, but nothing didn't happen, but it was real close. Shout out to my man. Yeah, shout out to my man right here, Jess. Yeah, he got Slam and Biscuit. And let me tell you about something before we get off of the runt things. I don't know if y'all had runts before. Y'all have more dogs than me. He got the runt from Slam and Biscuit, but he's almost 90 pounds. So that runt thing,
Yeah. See.
he's like
it's a real thing. It's a real thing.
he's already, and he was born around October. He just turned 1, and he's already 86 pounds. So just because you're the runt, that doesn't mean that. Me and Mike got a little friendly bet. I said Vader gonna be over 110. He don't think so, but I'm trying to get the weight from him. So, but yeah,
Right.
out of here, y'all can say whatever y'all want. Y'all can plug whatever businesses y'all got, whatever y'all want to say before we get out of here. I appreciate y'all so much too.
I just say, shout out to Ryan from Deep South Sentinels and Lee from American Sentinels for making these dogs. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to you guys, and I'll just do everything I can to make y'all proud and do the best I can with my dogs. So make y'all proud, and people see my dogs, and they can go to you and get some too, and be happy dog owners like myself.
Hey Rob, what you got on there? Give me your TikTok. Aaron be on that too. He got me wanting to be on there too. Aaron,
Yeah, it's a good networking tool. I'm telling you, man. But, yeah. So I got 2 businesses. I rehab houses. I could build about, like I say, like he say. Well, I do have a gift from God. So my construction company, rehab company is Dream Domain. You could look that up on TikTok, Instagram, Dream Domain. And then Dream Domain LLC on Instagram. Then I also have my dog business. Like I say, I'm training to become a decoy. I also build kennel setups, dog houses, and that's under God Sent Guardian K9. I do not identify as a breeder. I have male and female. I may have a litter, but my dogs are to preserve my pack, human and my dogs. You know what I'm saying? So I do have family members that I plan on giving dogs, asking me for dogs. That's the way I give my love. You know what I'm saying? It's a protector for you, but I am not a breeder. I'm just a dog man. But I will build you a nice dog house or build you a nice little kennel setup if you need that. But yeah, I'm a God sent king on Instagram and I mean on TikTok, and you can also look me up as Godson Guardian K9 and also Dream Domain LLC on TikTok.
Byrd, what you
All
got
right. Yeah.
before we get?
I don't got a lot of social medias or whatever, but I do got a music channel on YouTube called Black Hearts Radio, and it's Hearts has a Z at the end, two words, Black Hearts and then radio, and I just do music with my brother, and that's just one of my passions. So if you want to check that out and subscribe, it would mean a lot. Um, and then I'm actually just started my little dog walking business. I want to specialize in dog breeds that are, big dog breeds or overweight and unfit dogs, so that if you don't got time to walk your dogs and you're in the Las Vegas area, you can email me at hotel702@gmail.com, and I'd love to come walk your dogs, help you with any advice that you would need on getting your dogs in shape, maybe what you can do to help out your situation, to maybe give your dog some more fun to do or whatever, to and build on your guys' relationship. Or if you don't have time but you love to have a dog and you need somebody to walk them, man, that's my favorite. So just send me an email. But don't get a Sentinel unless you plan on having it forever. I want to say that too. I'm not trying to water down the dog breed at all. In fact, I wouldn't even don't even breed, your dogs if you don't think that they're, you know, what I say, that they're proven to be breedable, because not every dog is meant to come in and produce on. Some dogs are just meant to sit on the couch, and if that's cool too. But as far as the Sentinels, those aren't the type of dogs that are going to be like that. So if you're just getting them to breed, please don't water down the breed. We got a good thing going, and I'm trying to keep it like that.
Once again, guys, I appreciate y'all so much, man. Like I said, reach out to Byrd at Black Hearts Radio. My man Mike. And the thing, I put it all in the description. TikTok, and you can always hit me up at just like my name, Jaguar the Band Dog, JaguarDabandog at Gmail. If you got a Sentinel, if you got any questions, I'll be glad to help you out, because like they always basically telling you got to get the right Sentinel that's right for you. If you get a dog that's too much for you, then you're gonna want to return it. And like Aaron said, you're gonna probably be in the shelter, even though Leah take the dog back, Orion. And I help myself to get the dog in the right location. But you want it, like sometimes you just need a Honda Civic or a Toyota Corolla. You don't need no Ferrari, buddy. You don't need it. I'm trying to explain it to you. Without being on the internet. You just get yourself a nice Honda Civic, and Honda Civics are amazing. Honda 93 Honda Accord was amazing. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you think you want a little Ferrari or a little Porsche, and that's what you don't really want. But sometimes you need a Porsche or something, because a Civic won't be challenging enough to you because you got used to dog. So get the dog that's right for you. And once again, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in on this live. And don't forget to subscribe. Peace. Stay on, y'all.
Peace.